We, of course, continue our series on the one-sentence persuasion course. Today, we're going to talk about how people will do anything for those who, ... confirm their suspicions. And I want to give a shout out to two of my author clients. One of them you see right here, and the other one you might also see right here. One moment. All right. These two books I want to talk about right here. Stay Off My Operating Table by Dr. Philip Ovadia and Lies I Taught in Medical School by Dr. Robert Lufkin. This book, which I am, as you'll see here, I'm credited as the co-author with Joshua Lisec, pretty cool. New York Times bestseller. That's fantastic. And then Stay Off My Operating Table by Dr. Philip Ovadia, we just crested 45,000 copies sold. And what's important about this metric is that when Phil started working with me on this book, he had fewer than 1,500 followers on social media. Usually the metric for book sales is something like between 0.5 and 2.5% of your total audience is going to buy a book at some point. Now, I am a bit of an overachiever. My own book, So Good They Call You a Fake, I've converted 10% of my total following into book buyers. That is because I am relentless and ruthless in self-promotion, and my book is my primary entry point into my funnel for eventually working with me as a ghostwriter. Now, where does this match up with people will do anything for those who confirm their suspicions? Well, let's talk about Dr. Philip Ovadia's book first. There is a chapter in here that I want to call your attention to. Towards the beginning of the book, there is a chapter called The 12 Myths They Want Us to Believe. The entry point into that chapter is the section called Even Doctors Believe These Myths. And the hilarious tie-in is even doctors teach these myths. Yes, I am hilarious in that my clients, I have them reference one another's or give nods to each other's books. They know of each other, Dr. Ovadia and Dr. Lufkin, so that's fine. And of course, we've got another chapter called The System is Broken and What to Do About It. We talk about how the medical system actually works, where all of these myths come from. That is Dr. Ovadia's book. And then in Dr. Lufkin's book, if we whip this out and do a little digging, chapter 1 is I Did Everything Right and Almost Died Anyway. And then there are a number of lies in here, like the metabolic lie. Metabolism is just the body's way of digesting food. The obesity lie. To lose weight, just exercise more and eat less. The diabetes lie. Sugar is harmless other than causing weight gain and tooth decay. Okay, so of course we talk about where those lies come from. Now both of these books are smashing successes and are entry points into those authors' funnels for their additional products, services, programs, coaching, their clinics that they have, so on and so forth. We led in both of those books with confirming your suspicions that, yeah, they really are out to get you. Rather than claiming that without evidence, we lead all evidences for what you should be doing with your life and with your health, with the evidence for what you're currently doing is not working. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. And the advice that you have been getting is designed to keep you sick so that you can be a perpetual customer of the pharmaceutical industrial complex. Boom. Now, of course, we lead with the evidence for that, not just the assertion, no tin hat foiling, no claims that don't have requisite evidence. But We have found that this works really well in saturated spaces where one of the problems people have, think about the job to be done. I'm always talking about the jobs to be done theory. Always talking about jobs to be done. Customers buy tools to get jobs done. They choose the best tool given the perceived value of that relative to alternatives. Okay? So what that means is one of the jobs to be done is to figure out what tool you should be using. And in this space and in a world of infinite tools, in a saturated space like health, wellness, fitness, nutrition, diet, longevity, wellness, so on and so forth, what are you supposed to do? Well, we understand that one of the ways that both of these authors can add value is to help people decide what tools are they currently using that they should stop using. What are the tools that they perceive to have value that do not, in fact, have value? And this is intriguing and this is exciting because now they are able to diminish the perceived value of their competition, both past competition that their future customers have used, and also future competition that might try to steal them from their space. I recommend that you do the same. So think about, what are the lies people believe? What are the myths people believe? What are the misinformation, disinformation, and even malinformation that is out there? And by the way, malinformation is true information that is still intended to deceive, mislead, where there's a critical punctuation mark that is missing, a sentence is ended halfway, or there is a study that's being popularized and there's a conclusion from one of the studies that's being held up as being key to new understanding, and the conclusion disagrees with the claim being made about it. We do see this a lot, quite a lot. And another thing you can do to confirm suspicions is by knowing what those suspicions are. So you can confirm and speak to them. So both Dr. Lufkin and Dr. Ovadia talk about the importance of eating animal products because of among other reasons, the bioavailability of the nutrients and micronutrients that are in them. And furthermore, there's the perceived necessity of, let's say, high quality protein that is very low carb, very low carb. A chicken, for instance, doesn't have a whole lot of carbohydrates in there. Contrast with soybeans. Okay. And both of the arguments that these authors make is that the low carbohydrate diet is the ideal diet for the vast majority of humans and from human history. So what does that mean? That means that all the people who are telling you to go plant-based and have a high carb diet, high fiber, high carb, high fiber, high carb, carb, are misleading you. And you are suspicious of that because they look awful. They're skinny fat or extremely overweight. The majority of these people are leftist activists, climate enthusiasts, and saying, eat this, let's say, vegan slop burger in order to save cow farts from destroying the world or something. Also, I don't have kids because kids are bad, so you should sterilize yourself, and so on and so forth. Be vegan. That is what a lot of activists are saying. Yes, this is correct. Now, your suspicion is, wait a second, I don't think these people have my best interest in mind. They're fundamentally anti-human. Are they right? You come along and confirm the suspicion. No, they are wrong. They're wrong because they hate you. They're wrong because they hate humanity. Therefore, all of their nutrition strategies derive from opposition to human flourishing and even human survival. This is why you tend to see vegans hate Elon Musk. You tend to see this. Because as a religious phenomenon, ethical veganism is fundamentally anti-human. Think about it. Think about it. Because it's saying humans are the apex predators, but they shouldn't be. They should be the opposite. They should think and act like and relate to and empathize with prey animals. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? And so Dr. Philip Ovadia and Dr. Robert Lufkin, they do not explicitly say these things that I'm saying in the last few minutes, but they're part of a conversation that's already been going on in the prospect's mind. And that's a fundamental of copywriting, by the way. The right marketing and sales copy, write what people are already thinking. Right to that. And so there's these suspicions that people have, which Ovadia and Lufkin don't directly, specifically address or write about or speak to, but they confirm the suspicions of, oh, wow, what I thought is probably true. They do want me to be sick and unhealthy and fat and weak and vegan. Isn't that interesting? It is. It is. So now the question is, what is your audience suspicious of? And how can you confirm that without coming across as being tribal, overly tribal? Because Dr. Lufkin and Dr. Ovadia, Rob and Phil, they don't come across as anti-vegan. In fact, they both have pro-vegan messages, you might even say. But they also have pro-carnivore messages as well. And that's I think that's it. They both recommend the ultimate low-carb diet. So they are able to confirm suspicions without saying, here are your suspicions, and you were right all along about all of them. But they give you enough to connect the dots yourself. Sort of fill-in-the-blank persuasion. Go and do likewise.